Hi class, welcome to continuing lectures on regular expression. Right. So on VS Code, just open the folder for today's date. Click on open folder and come to October 5. Right. So October 5, just double click here and select folder. Right. I have already opened it. Right. So yesterday we saw few basics of regular expression, the meta characters. Dot is anything. Right. Question mark matches 0 or 1 character. Star matches 0 up to infinity. Right. Today we will see more such character classes and other regular expressions which are very useful for matching patterns, right? So we directly begin with the code, right? So there is a thing called which is known as character classes, right? In character classes, what happens basically is like, so there are some predefined character classes. For example, /s is a character class that matches a white space character. Now what are white space? Tab is a white space. Why? Because when you press a tab, there is only a white thing that appears on the screen. New line, again it's a white screen, right? T again is a tab, right? uh, V, I think /v is a backspace character, not sure, right? Similarly, /d stands for digit, right? So /d basically represents a digit which is anything between 0 to 9, right? And /w is nothing but a word. We will see an example to understand what is happening here, right? So I have a text here. India won the T20 World Cup in 2007. Sachin has 100 centuries, and then I've written a long number, right? So as you know, when we do pattern and I'm compiling, right, /d plus, right? So first let me show you what does /d do, right? /d just basically will check for a digit, right? A single digit it will match. But since it is /d basically will match a single number, right? So when it reads this sentence, it will actually extract out all the numbers. So find all basically means that you need to find all the occurrences that occur in this string. So let me just run the code. So now you can see there are 34 numbers. Why? Because when you are doing /d says a digit. Digit is any number between 0 to 9. So you can see now how it is happening. We have 2, 0, right? This is 2 is a single number, 0 another number. Then we have 2007. You can see 2007, right? Then Sachin has 100 centuries, so 100. So this is 100, and then you have so many nines and threes, right? A total of 34 numbers. Now, as you can see, this is not particularly useful. If you see, the numbers in this case are 20, 2007, and 100, and of course this long number, right? So how do we match that actually? So in this case we use the plus operator. So plus operator basically signifies one or more, right? So we had an operator question mark which was 0 or 1. We have a asterisk which is 0 or infinity, and we have a plus operator which is 1 or more, right? So what does 1 or more mean? First let us see the output and then you will get a hang of it, right? Now you can see we have only 20, 2007, 100, and 99999, right? So what happens with /d plus? It's a greedy search kind of thing. It will keep on reading the number till it encounters a non-number. See, /d is basically a number, right? So let us go back to the drawing board. So /d is a number, right? So number means anything between 0 to 9. So if I am writing 1, 2, 5, 9, 7, right? So /d basically will match everything, only /d, right? So this is also /d, 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 right? So we have 5 matches. Now what happens with /d plus, right? So this will group all the numbers till a non-numeric number is obtained. Now what do I mean by that, right? So let us just see our example. Right, so India won the T20 World Cup, right? So now you can see T20, right? Let me just show you T20, and this is a space here, right? I'm showing a space like this. This is World Cup, right? And we have a character 1 here. So now what happens when you do the slash D plus, right? Slash D plus will start here because 2 is a number. Go further till a non-number is encountered. Now what is a non-number? See this space. Space is not a number, right? So it will keep this 20 into a single group. Single group means it will display together. It will not display individually 2, 0 that we saw in the previous case. Right, so when you had only D, you could actually see that we were having 2, 0, 0. Why? Because slash D was matching only a single digit. When you do a D plus, it becomes a greedy search. Greedy means it will keep on accumulating numbers till it does not encounter a non-number. So you can see when you have this particular number 999999333. So this is the string termination. So basically the entire of this is taken into as a number, right? So as you can see how powerful regular expressions are. If I just wanted to extract numbers from a given text, I just compile this pattern slash D plus, right? And you basically can get all the patterns which have been matched. Similarly, we can have slash W plus. Slash W plus encounters a very wide variety of characters. As you can see, slash W plus literally matches everything small a to z, capital A to z, 0 to 9 and underscore, right? So it does not match special symbols except underscore. So now let us see what it matches. Let me run the code. So you can see India won the T20 World Cup. So India won the T20 World Cup. So everything is being matched here. But you can see this dot is not matched here. You can see after 2007, dot is not matched here, right? So what happens here is slash W is a word character, right? Word means in the regular expression language, a word can be which is A to Z, capital A to Z, 0 to 9 are numbers and only underscore is matched, right? So let us just check whether underscore is being matched or not. So India won the T underscore 20 World Cup. So you can see underscore is being matched, right? And now you can see we do not match other special symbols. The dot is not matched here. See, the dot is not matched. After 2007, directly Sachin is appearing. After 2007, Sachin is appearing. Sachin has 100 centuries. Sachin has 100 centuries. You can see the space, the exclamation and the dot are not being matched. And directly then we come to this number, the 9999993. Right? So you can see slash W provides you with a character class which does not include special symbols except underscore. Only underscore is a special symbol that comes as a part of slash W. Fine. So again, if I don't do a slash W, I just do a slash W here. So as you can guess, it will be all individual characters, will be a very long list, right? So you can see I, N, D, because slash W will match a single character out of A to Z, capital A to Z, 0 to 9 and underscore. So now you can see I, N, D, I, A, W, O, N, the World Cup, right? So when you do slash W plus, it will keep on accumulating the strings that match the pattern till a non-match is found. So where is a non-match found? In this case, the space is the non-match, which is actually a non-slash W, right? So I hope this part is clear. It's quite easy. So slash D is digit and W is word, you can remember, right? W for word. Actually, it's character class, but W plus becomes a word now. So we go to the next code. Now case insensitive matching, right? So we saw that by default, regular expressions are case sensitive matching. So capital A and a small a mean different things, right? So now what happens here, right? So but if you want to have a string such pattern, such as you are okay with the insensitive, right? So we have to specify a flag. Now how do you specify a flag? See, I have written few words here: dog, dog, capital dog, and doggy, right? So let me first show you. Let me just erase this thing. So first I'm matching exact the dog, right? And by default it is case sensitive, right? So let me just search for it. I mean, run the code. So you can see dog matches, right? And else we can just print does not match. So you can see dog has matched because it is the exact string. It is in lowercase and it matched with the lowercase dog. But dog did not match because the D was capital. Dog is complete capital, so does not match. Again, doggy does not match. Fine. And we were doing match, right? So match basically checks for the start of the string, right? Every time dog is at the start of the string, but it still did not match in the three cases, right? So we have RE. So the flag is, so RE is the library that you import, right? So this is a class basically, and within RE you specify the flag ignore case, right? So when I hover, it says just constant ignore case. Now when I do an ignore case, it basically does not check for the case sensitiveness. It becomes case insensitive, right? So you can see dog matches, again dog matches, and doggy matches, right? So to what I remember, I think Python upgraded this to have only re.I also, right? As a shorthand for ignore case. Let me just check the code. Yeah, right. So re.I is basically the flag that is being used to ignore the case, right? That is being used to ignore the case. So this is how the ignore case works, and this is how you basically match the regular expression where you want to ignore the case. Fine. Okay, so now we have an OR operator, right? So in C, you must have used this OR operator, right? So what was the usage of it? So let me have a pen color. In C, if you remember, if A or B, print value of A or B is present, right? So if you remember in C, this was the OR operator. So what did OR check? OR check whether A is true or B is true. It will actually execute, right? This was the whole concept of the OR symbol, right? Now what is happening here? We similarly have the OR symbol in a regular expression, right? So how does it work about? So we have import OS, we are clearing the screen, which actually it is known as alternation operator, right? But we remember it as OR because we know that the pipe stands for OR operator, right? So you can see words: Eiffel Tower, Leaning Tower of Pisa, Taj Mahal, Sydney Opera House, Pyramid of Giza, and Statue of Liberty. So now see what I'm compiling here. R basically represents raw. I am writing Eiffel, Taj, Pyramid, and House, right? Separated by this OR operator. So this basically means that I am basically trying to search for a pattern which contains either Eiffel, either Taj, either pyramid, or either house, right? So it's just like, I mean, if you just check the code, let me just copy this. Right, so you can see Eiffel Tower. Just a minute, let me write a good printf here. And we can put a smiley. So when we run this, so you see Eiffel Tower matches. Now why did Eiffel Tower match? Because we were searching for a pattern Eiffel, right? and it matched. Now it says Leaning Tower of Pisa does not match. Why? Because neither of this word, Leaning Tower of Pisa, is not in this, right? So if I want to match Pisa, so what I will do, I will put another OR operator. You can put as many as you want, and now run the code again, right? So now you can see Leaning Tower of Pisa matches, right? Similarly, Taj Mahal matches because we had Taj in the string. Sydney Opera House matches because it's the opera house. Pyramid of Giza matches, right? Because pyramid is there, and Statue of Liberty does not match. Why? Because neither statue nor liberty is there in this regular expression, right? This again is very useful while computing the regular expressions because they actually help us in breaking the regular expression into different kinds of match, right? So for example, if I'm writing you to match the IIT Patna's roll number, right, you have basically a branch code, right? So what can be the branch code? It can be ME, 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 and ME, right? So in this case, all the cases, whatever the user enters mechanical is 2 characters. So 2 raised to 2, 4 possible combination. So in this case, all the combinations of the roll number containing the ME substring will be matched, right? Obviously, I can just shorthand it as re.I. Of course, this is also a method, but of course, this has its own usage, right? You can use either of them. So let me just erase this. Right, so I hope you get the understanding of how this OR operator basically is used. Okay, so guys, let us have a break and then we will return at 12:25. Right, doubts of course are welcome. Welcome after the break. So now in this case, we will see a very interesting thing where we are matching the groups. Right, so what do I mean by matching the groups? We will just see in a while. So let us use a regular expression to match a date string in the form of month followed by a day number, right? So first let me show you, I have a regular expression here, right? So as you can see, I have a square A to Z, capital A to Z plus. So I am matching a word here, right? Because these are individual characters and plus means one or more till a non-matching is found, right? So in this case, it can be a space or a number. And then I'm having a space and then I'm giving 0 to 9 plus. That means a set of numbers, right? Followed by a space or a non-number. And you can see I have placed a round parenthesis here, right? So let me just go back to the drawing board. So on the drawing board, the expression is plus right? And let us see how does it actually resolve. So basically anything in the square bracket is a single character. So why both we are specifying that it's a lower case or an upper case does not matter. When we come to plus, so single character plus, that means one or more, right? So it is one or more till a non A to Z is found, right? So it can be any word which is followed by a space or a special symbol or a number, right? Then second is the space. This is the space, right? So we are matching the space, and this again is a number, and plus means one or more, right? And now what does these brackets mean, right? So I will just show you an example. These brackets basically, let me just choose another color, purple. So these brackets are nothing but they are used for grouping, right? These brackets are not match, right? brackets are not matched, right? We are not searching for a round bracket or an empty bracket. We are not searching for that, right? So let us just see the code once and then you will realize what is it, right? So I have a simple sentence. I was born on May 26th, right? So this is a simple sentence here, and I'm trying to now have a regular expression. You can see I'm using the search clause, right? I'm trying to search this regex in this particular sentence, right? And what is my regex? My regex is this: a word followed by a number. A word. So you can see it basically reads two words together, I and was. Is it a word? Yes, but not followed by a number. Then it jumps to the next two. Was born, right? So let me show you how does it work. So right, so in the first iteration I take two words, right? I match for this pattern. Why I match for this pattern? Because you can see in this bracket is the first expression, and in the next bracket I have the next expression. I have the next expression, right? So now what happens in the second iteration? So what we require a word followed by a number. Let me change the pen color. In the next iteration I will again match was born. So again not a match. Why? Because word is there but not followed by a number. Then what is the third iteration then? Born on. So this is how the matching actually takes place. So now born on, again this is a word but this is not a number. Now what happens in the next? So we have on May, right? This is a word plus but this is not a number, right? And finally when we come to here, May 26, now both are matching. So this is 0 to 9 plus and this is A to Z plus. This matches and this matches, right? So this is how the output for this program will be May 26, right? So you can see, and now we will have some new concepts here. I will just show you what is the meaning of match index, right? We have, see what we are searching here. I search for this regex in this particular sentence and store it in the match object, right? So if match is none means it did not match, right? If match matches basically. So you can see I'm writing here match at index start and end, right? Match dot start and match dot end. So basically what happens here, if you write this sentence, I was born on May 26, let me just write it here, right? So now you can see the index of May is 15th column, right? If you start, I mean, if you can see, let me just count. This is, right? If you see 1, 2, 3, I mean, actually we begin from 0, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 10 I am representing as 0, 11, 12, 13 and 14. So you can see our string basically matched at May 26, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And where did it match? Where did the match end? It ended at 6. Fine. So that means our match basically occurred on these lines, right? On these positions, and that position is 14 to 19, right? Because if you take the index of it, it will be index 14 is M and index 19 is 6. This is where our string actually matched, right? So now you can see here the output here is match of the string is at 14 comma 20. So I basically know the exact index where the regular expression, this was my regular expression, has matched. Now I will show you what is the use of these brackets actually, right? What is the use of these brackets, right? So now you can see I am writing here full match dot group, right? So the default group of 0, right? The default group of 0 means the entire match. So you can see What was the entire match of the regular expression? It was May 26. It was May 26. And now you can see I am writing here group 1 and group 2. So you can see in the group 1 I have month, which is May, and the day basically is 26. So how did it match? Basically, see what happens here. For group, you need to actually place your individual regular expression. You need to place your individual regular expression into brackets, right? So this will be basically, this is group 1 actually, right? For just reference, I'm showing you like this, and this is group 2. And this entire string is group 0, right? So always whenever you write an expression, the entire expression match will be group 0. The entire expression match will be group 0, right? And then we have group 1 and group 2 will be the individual bracketized expression, right? Brackets are important. So in parenthesis, right? This is round parenthesis. This will be group 1. This is again round parenthesis. This will be group 2, right? So this is how basically this happens. Now you may ask, what is the use of it? So for example, in this sentence, if I asked you to pick out the month and the date individually, you can use the match object. So you can see the entire group is matched using 0. 0 matches the entire group, and then individual groups can be matched using 1 and 2. Why 1 and 2? Because we had two brackets here. First bracket is group 1 and second bracket is group 2. Fine. So a little new concept, but I think it's not that difficult, right? Matching of groups is easy, right? So now let me just check for this sentence also. So this is basically the find iter function, right? So find iter function returns an iterator yielding matching objects over non-overlapping matches for the string, right? Now, so let us just see the output first. So I have a text here. I saw a fox in the wood. The fox had red fur, right? And now what I'm matching here, I'm matching the compiling. I'm compiling the string fox, right? And I'm using a find iter function, right? So let me just run the code. So it just says found fox at 8 to 11 and found fox at 29 to 32, right? So basically what does find iter do basically is like find the occurrences and note down the iteration of the index, right? Find occurrences. You can see what I'm doing here. First I compiled fox, right? I also know that fox is appearing twice here, right? Fox is appearing twice here. And then I'm using the function find iter, which is my pattern and the text. So what does found basically do? So if I do a print, it will basically be an object. Print found if I do, right? It's an iterator, right? You can iterate over it using a for loop. So what happens here, you can see for item in found, I am doing the item dot start and item dot end, and then I am basically just printing the indexes where it was actually found, right? The start and the end, that's it, right? So basically find iter can be easily used to get all the occurrences of the indexes where the pattern is matching. Yeah, so now this becomes an interesting thing. How to match an email using regular expression, right? You must have signed up on various websites, and you may have seen that when you sign up on the website, at times when you type the email, it immediately says you whether the email is a valid email or not valid email, right? I'm not saying whether the email exists or not. We just check for the validity, right? Whether it's a valid string or not, valid email or not email, right? Now, if you just come back to the drawing board, right? So you can see an email can be composed of many things, right? So let's say we say Sita dot and let's say let's say Mehta at gmail.com, right? cricket.ashish_2007 at hotmail.com, right? You also have like this, right? Let's say Ankit_1901 me22 at the rate iitp.ac.in, right? So now you can see from a valid email address, let us try to debug how will the regular expression will be. So you can see at the rate is always present, right? At the rate is always present, right? So this is a mandatory field. Then you can see at least one dot is following at the rate, right? At least one dot. See, here you have one dot, here you have one dot, here you have two dots. What is the minimum number of dots? It is one, right? Because a domain will have something of .com, .edu, .in or something of that sort, right? And if you can see here, we have a combination of small a to z, capital A to Z, like in the case of ME, you have numbers, you have underscore, and you also have dot, right? So these are the possible symbols. So what we can do, we can club this and write a plus, fine. So you can see, I mean, of course, there are many methods by which you can match email. So you can see here we have matched here A to Z, capital A to Z, 0 to 9 dot. Yeah, some email also allow you to put hyphens. So this is hyphen, and plus means multiple instances are okay, one or more, because at least one character must be there in the email. And then I'm passing at the rate. You can see at the rate is outside the bracket because it is mandatory. And then again I'm writing the same string, right? If you can see, this is the same expression, except underscore is not there. Usually domain names don't have underscore. And then I'm doing plus. You can see I'm using a backslash dot here. Why? Because see, dot is a meta character that matches anything, right? This matches anything. But if I want to actually match dot, I have to use like this. I mean, this you can remember, like for example, in C, if you write slash n, it's a new line. If you actually want to print slash n on the screen, you use like this. This will be the verbatim display. Get the point? Similarly, here it is. So this is at the rate gmail dot, and this is something you can see in the parenthesis. I am writing 2,18, right? So now what this 2,18 means? This string should be at least 2 and at the max 18, right? Should be at least 2 at the max 18. So I'm allowing a domain name up to, I mean, after the dot, I am allowing like gmail.com, right? So gmail.com. So let us just see whether it matches or not matches. So you can see it has matched all the email address. See, this it did not match because it did not have at the rate. Andy did not match because it did not have a dot at the end, right? Yahoo.com is missing. And we have iitp.ac.in, which is compiling, right? So after the dot, I at least need two characters. It's like gmail.com, gmail.in, right? Or outlook.in or nic.in, right? And up to the max 18 characters, right? So this I just specified for an example, right? So I can have something at gmail.com, IIT Patna, it will still match, right? Because we have a length of 18. See, gmail.com, IIT Patna also matches. Right? So this is how you create regular expressions, right? So for example, let us create a regular expression for the roll number of your batch, right? So let us first create the generic roll number of IIT Patna, and then we can create specific for the Python class, right? And of course, regular expression have multiple answers, so don't worry about it. So what are the general roll numbers in IIT Patna? 1801, ME 42, something like 1721, CE 10. We have 1901, ME 14, something like this, right? So we have a single digit. What is a single digit? 0 to 9. Then we again have a single digit. What is this? 0 to 9. Again a single digit. We have 0 to 9. Again a single digit, we have 0 to 9. Right? Now you have a single character. What can be a single character? Since we do not know whether it's a small case or a large case, we keep it like this, right? So this is M. Again, we are repeating for E, and then we have two more numbers, 1 and 4. This will be again 0 to 9. I'm just writing in a small case 0 to 9. Right? This is the most bare bone expression. It will match all the rule numbers that you actually provide. So how can we shorthand it? So we know that the number should be present exactly 4 times. So we give a round parenthesis, right? This is my regular expression, and let me change the pen color. And in the curly bracket, we specify 4, right? So the same pattern, if it is repeating, you see 0 to 9, 0 to 9, 0 to 9, 0 to 9 is repeating how many times? 4 times, right? So for bracket, this is the convention. A comma means, see, it is on the left hand side at least A times. If you have comma A, this is at most A times. And if you have only A, so exactly A times, right? So this is exactly 4 times. And then you can see the same expression is repeated, A to Z, A to Z. So what will I do? Exactly 2 times. And then again, of course, 0 to 9 exactly 2 times. So this will basically match any roll number that is studying the Python course, right? It will match exactly any course, any roll number that is a valid roll number in IIT Patna. Fine. So this is how you basically construct regular expressions, right? So this is again a very small example of how you can use the same regular expression. So for example, slash d, as we have already seen, matches digit, right? Slash d matches digit. So every digit is being matched. It says 12 matches. Why? Because slash d is matching individual numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, slash d is same as 0 to 9. So just showing the equivalence between them, right? And then you have a slash d basically. So capital slash D means non-numbers, right? Non-numbers. So what are non-numbers here? This space, this space, this space, and A, right? Slash capital D, right? So it is just a complement. For if you don't want to match a digit, use a capital D. So these are basically complement, right? Slash D plus capital D brings the universal set, right? Similarly, if you want to do a not operator, you can actually specify the cap here, right? Remember cap, yesterday we saw that. So cap is an interesting concept here. So if I write, yesterday we saw something like this, right? So this means match book at the start. And if I am writing this is again match capital at start. But now if I write it inside, right? This is now inside, right? Just see the location. This is inside. So what happens now? This becomes a does not. Does not match capital at start, right? So if you write this cap operator inside the square bracket, it becomes a not operator. It will not then search for it, right? So as you can see, the same 0 to 9 basically is don't match numbers, right? If I write this, okay, let me just try another example here. If I write here, right, see, I'm placing this just outside it. So when I run the code, you can see in the start we have only one number, right? It just matches this thing because this is at the start of the string. Fine. But if you write this particular thing, so it will it will match anything which is not 0 to 9. It will match 0 to 9 at the beginning, so it matched basically this string, right? So this is how basically slash capital D, which is just a complement of slash small d. So this is how basically it works. Okay guys, so we can have a break for 3 minutes, right? We will return at 12:52 and we will just complete these three small codes that are just simple codes. So 12:53 we will return, right? Yeah, class, welcome after the break. Now we will see how we can use regular expression for searching and replacing, right? The most wide use of regular expression is for pattern searching and also for replacing, right? So let me first show the output of this code, right? So now you can see I have a sentence here, Delhi is the capital of India. You can see there are new lines here, right? And what I'm doing here is I'm compiling the expression slash n. Slash n means basically it's a new line expression. So it will match this, this, and this, right? And then in this pattern, I am substituting, right? Sub basically is a function to substitute, right? You can see sub, it is the replace string, right? It is basically used to replace. So what I'm doing, I'm searching for this pattern, which is slash n, and replacing with a space in the sentence. What was my sentence? Sentence is Delhi is the capital of India. So you can see the output here, it comes like this. Delhi is the capital of India. Why? Because all of these slash n's were replaced by a space. So you can see already it had space in the end. After there is a space. After capital of there is a space, and India there is no space. So there will be two spaces here because one was added by the expression slash and with space. Again, one space was added by the expression, which was again a space. Right. Now you can see here again I have a pattern here. So you can use this particular string, a very shorthand manner of writing. So I have a sentence, subject has Uber booked already, right? So someone who has booked Uber has booked the Uber already. So this is find this pattern. So what is the pattern? UB. As you can see, UB matches subject and UB also matches Uber. And you can see flags, I have written ignore case. Since it is ignore case, it will match both the patterns, UB and capital U small b. And UB I am replacing by a tilde star just to show how it works, right? So let me just do one thing. Just write this sentence in verbatim here so that you can see how the function actually behaves. Oh, so this had to be about this. Subject has Uber booked already. So you can see first was the ignore case. So UB appeared twice in subject and Uber. So you can see it has replaced here as well as here. In the next case, I removed the ignore case. Since the ignore case was removed, it was case sensitive and only UB was matched, right? And in the next case, there is another flag which is called as count. count equal to 1 means replace only the first time, right? If I write count equal to 2, it will replace the first 2 occurrences. Count equal to 10, first 10 occurrences. So now you can see, even though ignore case is there and UB will match twice, but since count is 1, it just matches the first pattern. And now we have another thing which is called a slash s, right? So basically slash s is for the start and end of the string. So now you can see I am writing here and, right, and I'm doing ignore case. So when I do and here, you can see and is matched here also, and it is matched in the band also. I want to replace this and by ampersand, but of course I need to make sure that this and is not replaced in the band. Fine. So now what happens? Slashes and slashes, right? So this basically provides me the word boundary that only replace if the start of the word and the end of the word is and, right? Start of the word and the end of the word is and. That's it. So when you run this code, you can see baked beans, this and, because start and end is and, is replaced by ampersand, but this band remains as it is untouched, right? So class, I think we can stop here for today. The other programs you can actually just see on your behalf. It's very easy code to do, right? Nothing more complicated about it, right? So this program we will see in the next time, just URL lib library, right? You can actually go through and try to read the code and you will understand, right? So we basically complete the regular expression today. Fine. So this basically, I hope this website exists. So you can just check this out. Yeah, so a full page of sample address for parsing enjoyment, right? So you can see this is a name, right? A phone number, then you have the address and something like this. So what is important here for us to see the regular expression? So now you can see what we are finding. We are finding 1 to 9 repeated exactly 3 times, followed by a space, a digit 3 times, a hyphen, a digit 4 times. So you can see a bracket having a code exactly 3 times, then a space, you can see this is a space, and then we have 3 numbers followed by 4 numbers. So slash d3 hyphen slash d4, right? This is the number. So you can see what will happen. So in the URL lib, basically I'm opening this URL, I'm parsing the entire HTML and then finding the phone numbers on this HTML page. So let me just run the code. So you can see I extracted all the numbers out of the page. See, initially it's the page that is being decoded, right? This is the page that is being decoded, and within the page you can see there are phone numbers written, and finally we extract all the phone numbers using the regular expression, right? So this is the power of regular expression that you actually get, right? So this week we will do an assignment on regular expression. I hope that will get you a hang of regular expression quite well. So guys, thank you for attending. Anyone has doubts can ask, others can leave.